So I shot an ad in my room a little while ago for a Mexican kombucha drink called Tepache. Now, I came across this vendor at a Dia de los Muertos event at the Hollywood Cemetery. And after trying some for myself, I immediately became a fan. So I fell in love with their overall brand aesthetic, and after doing some research, I saw that they have great appreciation for Latino culture. So I thought to myself, I wonder what it'd be like if I were to create an ad for them, but I do it in my room and I gave myself only 24 hours to complete it. So there's already a few people on YouTube that show how they make ads at home and show their overall creative process. A person who comes to mind is Daniel Schiffer. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. The dude shows you a lot of cool techniques and tricks on how to make your projects look really cool and stand out from the rest. I knew I wanted to keep their overall brand aesthetic. After visiting their website, I saw that they had a lot of cool and playful typography. I knew that I wanted to use those fonts for the ad and knew that I could probably do some sort of engaging animation for the video. So I needed a few things to get started. I needed a green screen, I needed some chopped up fruit, and I also needed something to make the can rotate. Luckily, I found this rotating thingy-majingy on Amazon for like 15 or 20 bucks, and I knew that this was gonna be perfect for getting the shots that I needed. All in all, the overall budget of this commercial only cost me like 100 bucks, which was perfect. It's not really about, the cost of your tools or the cost of the overall production, but it's really about the quality and the effort that goes into these ads that you're creating. So I started setting up and playing around with the shots. Some things worked, some didn't, but overall I just, gave myself the creative freedom to have fun and just sort of experiment with the overall shots. You see, I think creativity really thrives when you allow yourself to have fun and experiment with ideas. And trust me, I definitely experimented with this ad. So even though I was limited to a small room and it was just me creating this commercial ad, I used every resource to my advantage. For example, I have a desk. I could use that as a platform to establish the shots. I also have fruit in the kitchen. Luckily, I had pineapple, apples, and oranges. I could use those fruit, chop them up, and integrate them into the shot. Use the tools that you already have. I definitely suggest watching Daniel's making a summer drink video just to get a more detailed view on the whole editing process. So obviously I don't have all the cool gadgets like he does, but hey, being limited to my room and only given 24 hours to complete this ad, I would be confident in terms of showing this to a client. But I knew I needed a track that not only fit their brand aesthetic, but also went with the pacing and the sort of tone that I was going for. I use a resource called Motion Array. I like using Motion Array not only to find music, but they have a library of a bunch of free motion graphics, stock footage, and other assets you could use for your creative projects. So I was on Motion Array and I was doing some digging. I was probably there for about an hour, just sort of hearing different tracks, this sounds all right, I kind of like this one. But then I found one that just fit the vibe that I was going for. So now we got the shots, we got the music. There is something that's missing though, stock footage. I knew I wanted this ad to sort of have a tropical vibe to it. So I wanted to grab stock footage that would align with each flavor. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is when Storyblocks comes into play. So after doing some digging on Storyblocks, I did come across some really cool footage of some pineapples and oranges falling. I thought that kind of footage could really work with some of the shots I got. I grabbed that footage and started implementing it into the timeline and, started chopping it up. Not sponsored by them, but just thought that I would be willing to show you guys this overall creative process, and hopefully this inspires you to create something at home. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Tepache.